If you've ever dabbled in modding your games, you're well aware that there's a certain audience in the modding scene that likes their games hard and dirty. But what if you could get that same kinky fix from none other than Shigeru Miyamoto himself? Well, buckle up, my masochistic friends, because today we're taking a look at Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. What is good, everyone, and welcome back to the Backlog project, where we play through a gigantic list of games to find out which of them is worth putting onto your backlog. Got a game you'd like to see on the show? Check the description of the video to take part in our weekly poll where you get to decide the next game I'll review. The Lost Levels is actually Super Mario Bros. 2, but it never came out as such in the West because Nintendo thought it would be too hard for Western audiences. Well, I'm not one to run from a challenge, so let's see if this hardcore Mario game actually lives up to its reputation, or if Nintendo misjudged the jump and run skills of us Western gamers. There's not a lot to say here. If you've watched my review of Super Mario Bros., you can just copy the exact same statements to this one, because they're the exact same game. The Lost Levels is not a new game, it's just Super Mario Bros. With new, more difficult levels and some new mechanics. First, there's a new power-up, or rather a power-down. The Poison Mushroom. This is the Trojan horse of Mario games, as it does nothing but look kinda similar to a regular mushroom and damage you when you touch it. Second, while the game still features warp pipes that let you skip levels, there are now also some pipes that put you back into earlier levels, so you can basically be punished for using the wrong pipes. Third, and definitely the most interesting new mechanic, are wind gusts. These do exactly what you would expect. They alter the range of your jumps by giving you tailwind. This enabled the team to try their hand at a more open level design, because this often allows the player to take different approaches. It also opens the possibility for some nasty blind jumps, and that is certainly a possibility the developers didn't waste. Oh, and the game now also lets you play as Luigi, who controls a little different to Mario. He's even floatier, with a slower run speed, and he slides a lot more than his red brother, but in return can jump quite a bit higher, making some of the levels a lot easier. All in all, it really depends on preference, but I personally like playing as Mario more, because I'm not a big fan of the more methodical and slow approach Luigi can take to the levels. Now, these features are pretty neat and might even make the game more challenging than its predecessor, but that's not where its reputation comes from. It's much simpler than that. It's the level design. The Lost Levels constantly hits you with lots of enemies, jumps that you can barely make, and hidden blocks in your path to throw you off course. There are also way less coins to collect, which results in way less opportunities for gaining extra lives, which brings me to the next difficulty to overcome. Contrary to Super Mario Bros., The Lost Levels does not offer an option to continue after spending all your lives. Get a game over? It's right back to the very first level with you then. Another thing that's different is that this time around there are actually secret levels, 5 worlds to be exact. The first one, World 9, is simple enough to get to. Just beat the game without using any level skips, going through every stage one by one until you beat the last stage of World 8. Not a big deal, right? Well, it might take some training, but it is certainly doable and a goal to aspire to. The levels in World 9 are purposefully weird, like putting you underwater in a normal stage, and I think that's a very cool thing to give to players who manage to beat the whole game. The other 4 bonus worlds are unlocked the same way, just that you have to do it 8 times. Getting to World 9 will make a little star appear on the game's logo on the title screen, and you will need 8 of those. That's right, playing through the full game without skipping any stages 8 times gives you access to a new set of worlds, worlds A to D, with another 4 levels each, for a total of 16 new levels. These levels are even harder than the base game, probably the most challenging you can get out of 8-bit Mario without resorting to fan-made stages, and are thus a fitting end to what is considered the hardest official Mario game. After going through the game multiple times, I can say one thing. It's not really hard in the sense that it requires a lot of skill at platformers, just a lot of patience. The reason for that is that the level design relies heavily on trial and error, and is sometimes borderline unfair in not giving you any indication on how to deal with an obstacle, other than to just trust your gut. That, combined with continues not being a thing in this title, makes the lost levels into a frustrating experience that I can only really recommend to the most hardcore Mario players. Or if you don't mind cheating, you can just play the game on Switch and make use of the built-in save states and rewind features so you don't have to worry about a game over at all. Also, going through the whole game 8 times just to unlock a few more levels is just plain stupid, and I can't recommend doing that to anyone. Have you tackled the challenge of the lost levels? Maybe you've already beaten the game or even seen all of the levels that it offers. Let me know in the comments down below. Go into some YouTube things, like, dislike, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm also live on YouTube every Monday and Friday, so feel free to come by and say hi. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to always keep that backlog rolling.